Yo, Base Guru. Nice job, Grab First. Good morning. Hydrate. Thank you, thank you. Alright, we're trying to figure out why at least some of our chats are connected. Hey. It's connected. It exists. Alright, well, we'll just have to do the old manual. No, stop. Don't make me sign in. Just go back.
It's Pikachu!
It's Pikachu. What's up, Denali? Good to see you. Alright, vertical chat is there. Why it wasn't finding it this morning, but we'll work with it. We'll be all right. Figure our life out in just a moment. Maybe more than a moment. Okay. Oh, we can't do this one. We keep getting dinged every time we do that one. Okay, morning, Frost. How are you doing? All right. Hey, there we go. All right, everything's good. We're good to go. Happy Wednesday. It is Wednesday, my dudes. Welcome to the stream. I hope you're all having a fantastic day so far. It's a great day. It's Wednesday. You know, midweek, we got some news. We got a big confirmation from Nintendo. But we also know that Nintendo's legal team is having a field day lately. They're having a field day. I'm happy it's Wednesday. I'm happy to see you guys here. My friend Malamar's here and has a mega. Zeke will be... That's like the last thing we'll watch. Because it's like a 4-minute video and then a shorter video. But we're going to watch it together. It's going to be fun. But yeah, we got game news. So let's just jump in right there, I suppose. Wait, did I turn news mode on or off? I messed up, didn't I? Let's turn it back on. We'll see how well Mix It Up can handle that. I was ahead of the game, and then I was behind it again. Alright, there should be good. Some stuff might work, some stuff might not. I don't know. Anyway. Okay, and... Alright, well, welcome to the stream, everybody. We cannot do this playlist. It is too all over the place. It's good for everything but game news and reaction videos. Alright, anyway, welcome back to the news show. We got a lot to talk about. I have fewer articles to actually go through, but some of them are pretty wordy. And they may not be, but we have quite a bit to go into. Let's kick things off with a big confirmation that we've all been waiting on. We have a Nintendo Direct for Friday, September 12th, 9 a.m. Eastern. That's 8 a.m. Central Time, which means I will be doing a reaction stream, as we normally do to these kinds of things on Friday. So Friday stream, you guys get a double-length Friday stream, because it's about an hour. 60 minutes of information about upcoming Switch 2 and Nintendo Switch games. Very excited. I believe I saw somewhere somebody said this is the longest non-console hardware reveal Nintendo Direct they've done. So I'm expecting a long look at Metroid Prime. They'll probably reveal far more details than any of us want besides the release date. We'll get a look at the new Hyrule Warriors, Age of Imprisonment. I'm hoping we get something for Mario's anniversary because that's coming up. A lot of speculation on what Nintendo might do, but who knows what they'll actually do there. But very cool to see. Really excited for this Nintendo Direct. We've been waiting on something, and here we go. We have it mid-September. It's the perfect time for a Nintendo Direct. We do have a State of Play rumored for the end of the month, and then we'll talk about Xbox's show stuff later. But it's coming. Everybody's doing some reveals soon. But all right, I'm excited for this Direct. I really am. Metroid Prime 4's release date is what I'm looking the most forward to out of it. That's all I want. I just want to know when the game's coming out. It's probably going to shadow drop. Just knowing Nintendo, it's probably going to shadow drop. That would be ridiculous. But anyway, all right, well, let's move on. Perfect music to react to, I think, is Animal Crossing. Interesting. OG Luke, welcome in. All right, finally a Direct. Okay, let's talk about Nintendo and their legal team. This is from September 8th. Nintendo secures $2 million settlement from Switch modder. Nintendo received $2 million in a new settlement from a Switch modder. He has also received a permanent injunction preventing them from selling modded devices again. Nintendo filed a lawsuit against Ryan Daly, the owner of modded hardware, in July 24, claiming that he was selling different types of hardware that allowed players to install pirated games in their Switch. Nintendo asked Daly to stop selling modded hardware or he would be sued, and Daly refused to do so. Now that case has finally been settled. Okay, here's what I find insane. Just the way this is worded, and maybe the article clarifies. But he's prevented from selling modded devices again. So did Nintendo low-key, do a favor to PlayStation and Microsoft? He can't sell anything modded ever again? That's weird that a company, no matter how big, that an entity has the ability to prevent you from engaging in the free market at that level. I don't know. I'm not a legal guy. I'm just a software developer / gamer. That's my experience. But it's crazy to me that if the dude is a U.S. citizen, which I believe so, referring to everything in dollars and whatnot, that I could see it maybe, hey, if you sell modded Nintendo hardware again, sure, but modded hardware, modded devices, he couldn't soft mod an iPhone, jailbreak it, or whatever. It's weird, right? I don't like that. I don't like that. Nintendo Switch modder to pay $2 million in settlement. According to a report by VGC, the 2024 case has been finally settled, with Switch modder Daly having to pay $2 million in settlement. The settlement also imposes a permanent injunction on Daly, which will prevent him from selling devices that can modded consoles, or providing any documentation or information on how to install mods. Louis Rossmann needs to cover this video. I really think if you don't know who that is, just go look him up on YouTube. He's got very, very harsh language, but he's all about right to repair, and I feel like this starts to infringe on that very fast. But I don't know. Lawsuit also claims that Daly not only helped his customers with modded Switch consoles and installed mods, but also provided them with pirated games. See, if he did that, that's probably the biggest issue. The lawsuit say that Daly pre-installs on the console a portfolio of ready-to-play pirated games, including some of Nintendo's most popular titles, such as its Super Mario, Legend of Zelda, and Metroid games. For those unaware, Nintendo had first warned Daly that if he didn't stop selling these modded Switch consoles, they would sue him, and he refused to listen. Nintendo went to a federal court in Seattle to file a complaint, which accused Daly of trafficking and circumvention devices and copyright infringement. Daly initially denied any wrongdoing, however, he ultimately settled for the amount mentioned above. So, yeah. When you're pre-installing games, and I see this on Facebook Marketplace in my area all the time, somebody will be like, "Hey, here's You know, here's a Xbox 360 soft modded, loaded with tons of games. It's like, hey, you're gonna get in trouble doing that. Maybe not. I don't know. I just wouldn't risk it. But it's just weird to me that Nintendo has the authority or the capability to influence his ability to mod anything ever. That's weird. And he's not gonna stop modding stuff. I don't know. Maybe $2 million is a lot of money. He will never pay that back. Or he will. I don't know how much he made off of his service. I don't know. I don't have a whole lot of details here. But good Lord, what was at stake, right? What was being threatened in the lawsuit that settling for $2 million was the choice? You know, like, that's scary. I would not want to go up against Nintendo's legal team. But speaking of their legal team, accessory maker Genki settles lawsuit with Nintendo after showing off Switch 2 early. If you guys remember, the Switch 2, they had a mock-up at CES this year, before the Switch 2 hardware was officially announced, and they were showing it off. They had their little 3D printed mock-up for all their accessories and such, and Nintendo did not like that. So Nintendo filed a lawsuit against the company earlier this year for showing off 3D printed mock-ups of the Switch 2 ahead of Nintendo's official announcement. The suit accused Genki's parent company, Human Things, of trademark infringement, unfair competition, and false advertising, but has now been settled without any further need for a trial. Genki will pay Nintendo for damages caused by its early leaks, but the exact amount has been agreed upon privately and hasn't been disclosed. That's kind of scary, but they settled out of court, so... okay. Genki and all other subsidiaries of Human Things are also permanently banned from using any Nintendo logo or design or anything similar, using the terms Nintendo, Switch, Switch 2, or Joy-Con, and selling any accessories that don't clearly state that Genki is an unlicensed accessory manufacturer. It's also banned from using the Glitch and Glitch 2 brand names for its accessories, because it's too close to Switch. Now, see, look, here, they're doing it again. They're overstepping. My gosh. As well as naming its news announcements Genki Direct. Again, this is where like, I start having problems with how Nintendo operates legally. Because Glitch is close to Switch, that's not how trademarks and copyrights work. You can't go, oh, well, that's a different word, but it's close. This is when, like, Mojang was trying to stop Bethesda was trying to stop Mojang from naming its game Scrolls because they were making Scrolls, and Bethesda was like, nah, it's too close to Elder Scrolls, and it's like, that's not how that works. People aren't that stupid. You know, this is even worse though, because Glitch and Switch are just rhyming words. Look, I love Nintendo. I hate the way they do legal business, but good Lord. This is insane. Genki is now unable to use elements in its products or packaging which are similar to Nintendo's core color schemes, which are listed in the settlement as red and white, red and blue, green and pink, blue and yellow, purple and orange, pink and yellow, and purple and green. So, you know, all the colors. You're just not allowed to use any colors because those are our colors. We own the colors. Again, what the heck? If only Nintendo, the business side, was as good as the game making side. I agree. My gosh. It's like, you can't use any colors in your marketing. And if God forbid you use white, because it just has to be all black packaging now. Nintendo's lawsuit included a timeline of incidents, including Genki offering to show the CEO of GameStop its Switch 2 accessories a month before its reveal. The most notable Switch 2 incident involving Genki came during the Consumer Electronics Show in January 25, when the company's exhibition page stated it was happy to discuss any Switch 2 info we may have, as well as the stuff we're making for it. Shortly after this, Genki CEO Edward Tsai personally showed off the 3D printed mockups and stated to different reporters that Genki had access to an authentic Switch 2, on which Genki based the mockups, renderings, and 3D printed mockups, according to the suit. In January, it was claimed that the lawyers representing Nintendo approached Genki on the CES show floor, and it's alleged that despite this encounter, the company went on to display a video at CES showing off a render of the then unannounced Switch 2, which included Nintendo trademarks such as the Nintendo Switch 2 logo. Nintendo's lawsuit also referred to a post on X showing Genki CEO Edward Tsai and the caption, "Genki ninjas infiltrate Nintendo Kyoto HQ." Nintendo claims this was an apparent attempt to further confuse the public as to whether Genki had access to a Switch 2 and or an affiliation with Nintendo. Yikes. I agree, Luke. How do they ban colors? Like, I don't fully understand that. That is mind-boggling to me. Yes, and I agree, Zeke. Glitch Switch, Nintendo, like, really? Like, no, really? Like, the legal space is in shambles, right? Like, with everything going on, legality has gone to mean I have money and I declare I'm more right than you, so you have to do what I say. And maybe it's always been that way, but good lord, is this just terrible? I mean, okay, I'm not saying Genki was in the right. They shouldn't have showed the mock-ups. They shouldn't have used, like, official branding and names and stuff. That's on them. But I think the measures that Nintendo, like, goes to go after an offender here it's too far. It's too far. You can't, I don't know. Clearly they can, because they have done it, and these things are being shared and talked about, so it's already done at this point. But my gosh, difficulty being a Nintendo fan. Great games, terrible parent company. No, I agree. As much as I love Nintendo stuff, my gosh, it's the same with like Disney though, right? Like you love classic Disney movies and Disney stories, and then the company goes and does stuff that's just like, I'd rather you didn't do that. It's the same thing. We're experiencing the same thing. All right, anyway, we're not done. Oh, but wait, there's more. Let's talk about Power World. Nintendo acquires another patent for character summons as Power World lawsuit continues. Nintendo has recently acquired a new patent for summoning a character and letting it fight another as its Power World lawsuit continues. During this Nintendo v Power World lawsuit, we have seen the former acquire and modify several patents. In July 25, one of its patent claims regarding smooth switching between flying and riding objects was modified. Nintendo had also acquired 2 more anti-Power World patents a few months before this. I gotta say, just with this lawsuit specifically, being able to modify your patents mid-litigation is nonsense. That's like presenting, like that's the evidence, right? Hey, well, they can't do this because we own this book. And it's like, you go, like, if somebody like rips off like an author's story and they're like, but I wrote this book, and then they're like, hey, this is a little different. Thanks, Harold. Appreciate it. Thanks for the gifts. I forgot to turn this off. My bad. Just ruining the whole game news show because of my mistakes. What's up, Harold? Good to see you, man. Thank you so much. But what was I saying? Okay, it's like if an author writes a book and then somebody else writes like a blatant copy of the book or something you think is close. Maybe you've read it and you're like, they totally ripped off my story. You present the book as evidence, right? That's the thing. But then you go and like change elements of the story to make it closer to what the like copied story is. That's what this feels like. I find it crazy people can't make games that sound like Switch. Yeah, Frost, we're talking about it right now. What's up, Dan? Good to see you. I hate Nintendo for adding patents. Woo, winded. Power World is great and different. It's all right. I like what it's doing. I like competition. I hate this kind of litigation. All right, so anyway, that's what this feels like, though. Just going back and changing your patents mid-lawsuit? It's weird. All right, Nintendo's new patent could impact every game that features summoning characters and letting them fight each other. Spotted by GameRant, Games Phrase new report reveals that Nintendo now owns U.S. patent number 12,409,387, which is related to smooth switching or riding objects. Additionally, a week ago, Nintendo was granted U.S. patent 12,403,397, which is related to summoning characters and allowing them to engage in combat against one another. The first patent could impact Pocket Pair if they win the lawsuit against Nintendo in Japan, and won't revert to their previous smooth switching of the riding feature, as the patent would be in effect in the United States. The company was able to acquire it without any hiccups, It was applied for in March 23, granted in July 25, and issued last week. The new patent that Nintendo has acquired could pose a problem, not only for Power World, but also for any other game that features or will feature character summons that fight each other. Nintendo's new patent comprises 6 claims. Check them out below. The first one states there should be a PC, console, or any other computing device for the game to run on. Well, okay. Just any other computing device is a nice broad term. Secondly, players should be able to move a character in a virtual space. The subsequent claim states that the first character should be able to summon a sub-character similar to how Pokemon are summoned. The fourth claim talks about summoning this sub-character in a space where there's another character and they are instructed to fight. The fifth claim describes a different scenario in which the player can summon a sub-character in a space with no enemy characters to fight. The final claim talks about an automatic battle being triggered when the sub-character walks in the direction of another character. Oof. It's a 100% Nemesis system all over again. It does feel that way. Summoning partners to help you fight has been around long before Pokemon. No, it has. Another news, Nintendo recently updated its detachable dual screen patent. Nobody cares about that. We're not talking about that. So the terms of that are just like, okay, so if I summon Bahamut in any Final Fantasy game, oh well, it's Nintendo's now. Is he fighting another character and we're walking around a virtual space and we're running on a computing device? Like, it ticks all the boxes. How is that okay? It's not. It's not okay. Like, it's not okay. Hey, Dan, how's it going? I'm telling you guys, this is the struggle of liking Nintendo stuff and being a Pokemon fan at that. It's the lengths that Nintendo goes are always far more reaching than they need to be. And the impacts of this are going to be awful. It just gives Nintendo either license to go and demand fees for games that have summoning aspects. Like, what about all these mobile games that you summon characters in? There's a ton of them, you know? And then what about older games? It's just, this is a mess, y'all. How was this even granted as a patent? Because if this is the terms, right? If this is the whole patent, this is a ton of games that have a subset or that made the entire requirement here. Like, what in God's name was going on at the patent office? Patent system kind of absurd now because they let people do things like this. No, I agree. We need, and this is not gaming. This is not game news. This is purely Chrono's opinion of the state of things. We need to completely revamp what public domain is, and we need to completely revamp how patents work, because the patents are supposed to be ideas that are unique and, you know, the proprietary ideas. And half the time you read through a patent and it's the most generically worded thing. It's not unique. It's like when Apple tried to claim they own rectangles, or rounded rectangles at that, for devices. Like, you couldn't make a phone that was in a rounded rectangle shape because that's what shape the iPhones are in, or whatever. And that fell flat on its face. You can't own a shape. That's a shape, you know, or a common shape. I don't know how it was like thrown around, and I don't know if that even went anywhere. I just remember how dumb that was. This feels like that. You know, it's so generically worded that it's no longer a unique process. You just don't want Pokemon to have any competition, but it's had competition forever. Just nothing comes close to being as popular as Pokemon. Power World's an actual threat because it's a unique idea. It's a unique take on it. Does this mean D&D can't have any new games because the concept of a mage is familiar? I mean, at what point? It's a virtual space. You can play D&D on a PC, you know, like there's a lot of terms in there. You would meet those same requirements. It's very frustrating, chat. I don't like this. I don't like this patent. I don't like Nintendo being able to get patents that make their case stronger after they've already filed the case. Like, to me, it should be a snapshot frozen in time, right? When you file that lawsuit that date that you file that lawsuit, it's, I have a problem with everything Pocket Pair has done as of this date. You know, like up to this date. We take the snapshot of everything Pokemon has, patents and everything, and then everything Pocket Pair has done, and we compare it up to that date. And you can litigate on that for however long that takes. You know, you go through the legal process. They're updating stuff. They're adding new patents that strengthen a lawsuit, and it's just like, that feels like you're cheating or you're gaming the system. That's what this feels like. Navi, what's up? Magic GameSoft went after every Souls-like game and said, no, sorry, your game is too difficult like ours. Right. I think the same way. You can't just, like, I guess they're gonna try, and I guess you can, because it happens all the time. It doesn't make it okay, but you can't just, like, sue your competition, right? And expect that to go over well. Honestly, all this does is make Pokemon look weak and acknowledge that the problems that everybody has had with Pokemon as a brand or as a game are valid, and they're just not doing the work because they're number one. And this is how they would rather sit in court and litigate than create a better game or introduce a new game with better features. That's all I'm saying. It's what this is. You know, I get protecting your IP, but Power World isn't Pokemon. Nobody confused the two. Nobody's unsure. You know, it makes it more complicated as patent laws in each country differ. The other thing, if you can't be better, you should fail. Right. I agree with that. But yes, the patent laws in each country differ, so it does make things a lot more complicated. Yo, Joseph, thanks for checking out the stream today. Appreciate you subscribing, helping the channel grow. Thanks for being here. Leave a like on the video if you don't mind, or dislike if you don't like what we're talking about. But thanks for checking it out. All right. That's where I'm going to leave it. I can't rant too much longer on this, but we'll go on to the next topic. But this is ridiculous. Okay, let's talk about something kind of stupid. Your car can soon be an Xbox, thanks to LG and Microsoft. This is an Xbox that goes vroom. It feels like a kid's book. Feels like you're reading a kid's book. Nintendo can't afford to drag it out against Power World. Power World is Pokemon inspired. It's not Pokemon. Memo to self: if ever make a game, incorporate in some unknown island with no patent laws. Right. Or just make it in China. There's no rules there. Or the rules are very different. Alright, Xbox and LG's partnership will bring cloud gaming beta to select internet-connected cars. Xbox wasn't lying with their This Is an Xbox campaign last year when they said that any device can be an Xbox. At that time, it seemed that this would be limited to devices such as consoles, laptops, handhelds, PCs, smart TVs, and VR devices. However, Microsoft has taken it one step further, bringing Xbox to cars, allowing players to keep playing their games even while traveling. Through partnership, Xbox has been integrated into LG's WebOS automotive content platform, or ACP, allowing passengers in internet-connected vehicles to use it. The Xbox app on this device will enable players to stream and play games as well as access their Game Pass Ultimate library. However, players will need an automotive data plan to access streaming services. Moreover, all services operate in compliance with driving safety regulations. So you're not going to be playing this in autopilot. Just like other cloud gaming beta features, all players will need is a compatible Bluetooth controller, launch the Xbox app, and then log into their Game Pass subscription. As soon as you have completed these steps, you'll be able to play your favorite titles from the comfort of your vehicle. A post from Tom Warren on X, formerly Twitter, reveals that Kia's EV3 features LG's ACP platform. More compatible cars are expected to be revealed soon. So, awesome. I guess. Does anybody have an LG equipped vehicle to test this on? I'd like to see how this works. Let's see. Instead of doing a whole patent over game mechanics, how about just ask for change of character design? Because they can't. But they can't because of parity laws anymore. Playing Forza in-game and IRL. Right. Like, that's exactly what this is. Driving on the same roads. That would be funny if you were, like, on a track in Forza, but also on the track in-game. Like, in real life, in-game. Whatever. You guys know what I meant. Alright, let's move on. This is silly, though. It's kind of cool because you play it like the back seat, like if you're riding. But as a driver, this doesn't help. Everybody else is having fun, and I just have to drive. I like driving. I like driving on trips. Ask my wife. She always gets a little frustrated because she likes driving. Hey, Will, what's up, dude? Car is older than me. It's like 22 years old. That's a good car, man. All right. Well, speaking of Xbox, Xbox returns to Tokyo Game Show 2025. Well, I don't know how they returned to Tokyo Game Show 25 when it hasn't happened yet, but Xbox returns to TGS in 2025. Thrilled to announce Xbox Tokyo Game Show 2025 broadcast Thursday, September 25th, 7 p.m. JST, 3 a.m. Pacific, 6 a.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. UK. This year's show will feature titles from our creative teams alongside exciting updates from our partners in Japan, across Asia, and around the world. So that's what you need to know. I don't know what else they're going to really talk about in this article. But yeah, I thought this was cool. We'll get, we've got the Nintendo Direct this week. We've got a rumored state of play for the end of September, which is probably the same week as TGS. And now we've got Xbox also doing a broadcast from Japan for TGS. I'm curious what they'll announce here. If we'll get, I don't know, more RPGs. Maybe a look at Final Fantasy VII Remake running on Xbox. That would be nice. There's all sorts of things we could want out of this. Personally, I don't know what to expect. I'd like to see maybe more Hoyoverse games on Xbox. Maybe that new Pokemon-like game that they're making. I guess we'll find out. I don't know. Cool stuff coming, though, hopefully. More RPGs. That's all I want. Xbox needs to be the RPG king, and they totally could be, but it just remains to be seen. Anyway, yeah, it's cool. All right, let's move on. All right, let's talk about the PlayStation 6. It's planned to have a detachable disc drive on launch, much like we saw. This is some weird mock-up. I'd be okay if that's what it looked like, but this is a weird mock-up. The stream, could you do a top 5 predictions for the Direct? I could talk about it. Insider Gaming has learned that the PlayStation 6 is planned to have a detachable disc drive when the console launches. First introduced mid-gen for the PS5 and exclusively reported by Insider Gaming in September 22, the detachable disc drive was a means for PlayStation to reduce its production and shipping costs. For the next generation of the PlayStation, several sources who wish to remain anonymous because they were not authorized to talk about company plans, then why were you talking about company plans? Have said that the detachable disc drive is here to stay for the next generation. Identical to the PlayStation 5 and its detachable disc drive, customers will be able to buy the console individually as a digital console, bundled with PlayStation 6 as a traditional console, or upgrade later by purchasing the disc drive separately. According to one source, unless things are changed at the last minute, PlayStation is firm on the decision because the disc drive for PS5 hit all the company's internal targets. Again, it was reiterated by the source that the decision was made to reduce manufacturing and shipping costs during uncertain times. These uncertain times have seemingly influenced PlayStation's decision on the look of the next PlayStation 2, as rumblings suggest that this time around, PlayStation 6 will have a much simpler design than its predecessor, again to maximize efficiency, shipping space, weight, and so on. Even as late as this month, we can expect PlayStation to introduce a new PlayStation 5 Slim revision to the market, which will launch with an 825 gig hard drive instead of the standard 1 terabyte. It's also believed that, like with all PlayStation 5 revisions, the new revision will reduce console's weight, indicating that PlayStation is trying to save pennies where and when necessary. News of a detachable disc drive may not be shocking to some. It's the best of both worlds, as it allows PlayStation to cater to both physical and digital markets while reducing costs. I mean, are we getting a bunch of different SKUs at launch? Not really. A detachable disc drive is nice. I like options. As a consumer, I like when I have choices on how to engage. I could buy the digital-only PlayStation at first, upgrade to the disc drive later, and it not be a big deal. Or I could just buy pay a little more upfront, get the disc drive right out of the box. If I don't need it, resell it somewhere. It's like you have choices. Supposedly, the PlayStation 6, I don't have the article because, it's all rumors, right? So you could just kind of say whatever and call it a rumor. But I've seen that people talking about the PS6 is going to have a much simpler design than that of the PS5. Gosh, I hope so. Because the artsy-fartsy looking PS5 ain't it. It's fine. The slim version looks way better than the original launch version. But I don't need like a statement piece. I just need a piece of hardware. You know? That's all it comes down to. I don't care how beautiful the console looks. I just want to be able to play games on it. PS5 won't look like Kaiba from Yu-Gi-Oh! Right? The PS6, yeah. But yeah. Nintendo really put the heat on other two consoles, or at least the Switch 2. No, they really did. And then the portable space has gone like off the charts. Because you got handheld PCs, and then the Switch, and now Microsoft's jumping in, Sony's jumping, like everybody's jumping in. It's crazy. But cool. It's not that surprising, but I hope it's not as hard to get as the PS5 disc drive was at launch. Like, that thing sold out so fast, and surprisingly fast. But anyway, let's move. I thought this was funny. We have to talk about Silksong more because it's still in the headlines. But Team Cherry agrees. Hollow Knight Silksong is a bit too hard in places, with nerfs to a duo of early game bosses coming in an update next week. If you want to brag forever about beating them pre-patch, you better hurry up. Hollow Knight Silksong developer Team Cherry has laid out details of the game's upcoming first patch, with 2 early game bosses getting a nerf. Let's see. I just want you to get to the article. Alright, Team Cherry seems to agree it may have gone a bit too far in some places. In post to Silksong's Steam community page, the developers detailed what's to come in an upcoming patch for the game, which is intended to release mid-next week. The post mentions that this one is primarily focused on bug fixes with some slight balance adjustments in the early game. What's up, Brent? I think it's better than the Everyone Loves Raymond statue. No, it's true, though, with the PlayStation base guru. That's what it looks like. I'll have to look it up to make that meme make sense for everyone. Balance adjustments include increases to rosary rewards and a reduction to the damage sand carvers do. Sorry, I'm having trouble reading, apparently. However, the main event is the nerf to the bosses Moorwing and Sister Splinter, the latter of whom you need to best to get the wall jump ability. Both Act 1 bosses were causing players grief, and just like with similar difficult games like Elden Ring, there are now players who will brag about beating them pre-patch till the end of time. However, if you're already finding the bosses to be a bit frustrating, don't wait until next week. PC players can play the new patch via the public beta branch on Steam and GOG, but if you're on console, you're going to need to wait until next week. But I believe in you. Thank you, VGC. Or no, this game's Radar. My bad. You're both orange. Makes sense. Patches and nerfs are happening, so they don't have a huge team to play test. Yeah. It's cool. I appreciate that they go, hey, look, we went a little hardcore there. Sorry. But nice of them nonetheless. All right, that wraps up the actual articles. But we got a couple of things we want to look at. Maybe. Hopefully. Okay. Truth about Malamar. This is a 4-minute video.
Breaking news. The recent Malamar popularity boom in Lumio City is more than just a craze. Lumios latest has obtained an exclusive statement from a Pokemon trainer.
Where's your game news? Watching news. In a game.
I don't know why, but I wanted people to see how friendly Malamar is. I had it use its hypnotic powers. I was careless. I'm sorry.
Careless indeed. Lumios latest has acquired shocking footage of this apparent hypnosis happening across the city. Well-mannered, cultivated, modest. That's how close friends describe this local painter in Lumio City.
This is wild. Good to see you, Brie.
You're so sweet and adorable.
But shortly after this footage was captured, something strange happened. She seemingly forgot her manners, and her art went from elegant to extravagant.
What is going on here?
You are so sweet and adorable. Oh, are you recording? Yes, yes. Come on, get a close-up.
Get a close-up. Walks further back.
Make sure to share this.
Well, something certainly seems off. Later that day, I
so
spoke to a
weird.
taxi driver who also got caught up in the moment.
You're certainly cheerful, and your taxi, wow, it is colorful. Care to tell us more?
How is she in 2 places at
With
once?
Malamar in my rear view, there's no job I can't do. My friend Malamar.
We had found footage wrestling match and now a newscast. It's also, I love the marketing for ZA. It's so
It
good.
wasn't always like this. Thanks to the taxi's dash cams, we're able to see something rather interesting occur.
Whoa, it's in the background. That's so creepy. And it's gone.
That bright flash, was that mega evolution? And what happened at the end there? Footage retrieved of this executive may tell us more.
So I'll work on that. Oh, and do you have time for one more thing?
Sorry, I'm running late for the ZA Royale tonight.
I was just hoping to discuss the most...
Let's put a pin in this.
Oh,
Circle back
jeez.
later. What time are you free?
Sir, behind you.
What?
Oh my gosh. I love this.
Friend Malamar? My friend Malamar!
Could this be the work of a mega evolved Pokemon? Who are these shadowy figures? And what happened to that executive? Well, courtesy of this viral video, we do know.
My friend Malamar!
It's safe to say he is no longer all business. We are not looking at simple hypnotism here. It is an entirely
This is so cool. I love this. This is so weird.
Well, Lumios let us have an exclusive interview with the trainer claiming to be responsible. Thanks for joining us. So, what is your part in all of this? Is this you?
Yes, I'm so sorry. I just didn't realize how powerful Malamar's hypnotism could get. How people's personalities would change entirely when it mega evolves.
So it is mega evolution.
Yes. Yes, let me show you.
Why are you doing this right now?
Mega Malamar.
Oh my. Map. Map. Map.
God, it's so creepy looking. What the heck? And the news ended. Gosh. The marketing is so good.
What's up, guys? Welcome back.
No, we're
to
not
the
watching
news.
Spawn Wave.
Well,
This is my news show. Alright, anyway. Then we got the gameplay like reveal for it. It does look cool, but Malamar's a weird Pokemon to begin with. It's a giant squid. No, it is. Don't you hypnotize me. I'm your trainer. Malamar in the anime tried to take over the world in X and Y. I believe it. Oh yeah, we've seen that. After every trailer, they remind us there's more. Alright, well that's it for the game news. I believe Zeke requested we do a top 5 prediction for the Nintendo Direct tomorrow. So, yeah, let's talk about that a little bit. No, don't play. Don't play. We're done with the videos. Done with that. Alright, anyway. So yeah, I think Friday's Nintendo Direct is going to be best part ever. He caught 5 more Malamars. Yeah. I think Friday's Direct is going to be I think there's going to be a good bit of Metroid Prime. I'm hoping we get, you know, we're obviously getting a release date. There's no doubt in my mind. We'll also get a release date for Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. They're really pushing that title. Like, it's a big release for them this year. And then I believe we'll get something for the Mario 40th anniversary, because that is also very soon. If it's not this week, it's next week. I guess I could look that up real quick, because I don't know off the top of my head. Friday gonna block. It's 8 a.m. 9 a.m. your time, Will. 9 a.m. your time. And it's an hour long. So you really got to block out the time. Let's see. When Mario's 40th. Okay, September 13th. So this is literally the day before the 40th anniversary. I just looked it up on Google. So if that's the case, I mean, yeah, we're definitely getting something Mario related. Is it a new game? I don't think. I think this close to DK would be weird. But don't put it past Nintendo to do something odd. Right? So yeah, that's kind of like the top two things. I think they're going to talk about Mario's 40th anniversary. Maybe we get some kind of teaser for the second Mario movie. And then upcoming games. I mean, I don't know what else they're going to show. Maybe we get some Switch games into 26 teased. Maybe we get another look or something for Kirby Air Riders after that long direct, though. I don't think that's going to be the case. Because what date is that? When does Kirby Air Riders come out? Because that's going to be the next thing. I think, with Kirby Air Riders, they might do another trailer for it. Maybe something... Could be something different. I don't know. Kirby Air Riders release date November 20th. Okay, it's a ways off. They could probably drop another trailer in there then. So I for some reason I thought it was sooner than that. But that's great. That gives me time to play Kirby's Forgotten Land DLC and Pokemon ZA. New IP for a game. We could get something for Splatoon Raiders, now that I think about it. Splatoon Raiders has not been given a date at all, so that could also be in there. I think that's going to be like the big first-party stuff. Third-party stuff, I don't know. I don't know what they could show, what they might not show. Third-party really could be anything. There's rumors, they're talking about Resident Evil getting released on the Switch 2 with all the new remakes that have been in the last few years hitting there. I'd love to see Splatoon 4 in some kind of way, maybe just a tease, and then Splatoon Raiders also getting some kind of content. A trailer. Splatoon Raiders needs a trailer of some kind. We need to know more about the game and maybe a release date. That would be good, or at least a window, right? Give me like a quarter that it comes out in. You need Splatoon to be there, dude. I do too. I really want it. But it's funny you mentioned a new IP, Zeke, because Nintendo has basically said they don't have to do new IPs, so they don't. And I think that's okay. If that's what they're going to do, that's okay. But at a certain point, it's not that they don't need to, but they'll come up with a new IP when the game, like the gameplay idea, warrants it. So I think that's why we got Splatoon. I think the idea for Splatoon was probably workshopped with Mario characters, and then they were like, well, let's just make our own character, which explains why, like, the squid and Octoling, like, forms look so much like a blooper from Mario, because it's like, oh well, it's all Nintendo based anyway, and then they were like, look, if we just make it its own IP, we can do more with it. And so I think that's what we're gonna get. I don't think we'll see Smash Bros at all. I don't think we'll see Smash Bros until next year, if Smash is real for Switch 2, which there's no reason to doubt that it's coming. I'm just saying we haven't got even a hint. We're just assuming Nintendo's going to remake or re-release or do something with Smash on the Switch 2. So there's no reason to think it would be now, but hey, it could be. I'm saying that would be more of a want than like a pipe dream kind of thing. Kirby Air Riders is our launch year Smash. I'm pumped for Air Riders. Y'all don't know. All right, I played Air Ride the other day with my kid, and it's such a fun game. I'm so excited. Online play and everything else around the game is gonna be so fun. I'm so looking forward to it. Y'all just don't understand how much I love Kirby Air Ride. But anyway, all right, well, let's leave it there. I think that's enough predictions for the Switch 2 Direct, the Nintendo Direct on Friday. Again, Friday at 8 a.m. Central Time, I'll be on. We'll just double up the stream. We'll go from 8 to 10 Friday morning. It'll be a great morning. We'll talk about the Nintendo Direct. And then I have on the schedule to play Unite, but if they shadow drop something, we might do that instead. I don't know. We'll see. But, all right, I'm going to find somebody to raid. Y'all have a great day. I appreciate you being here. We'll see you tomorrow night. We're going to play the Kirby Forgotten Land DLC on stream. And yeah, have a great Wednesday. Love you guys.
Your beautiful song.